This is the first video in my rating climb series. I will take a brand new account approved by chess.com all the way from 1000 to 2000 rating. I will show you all of the games and teach you what I think about any chess game so you can copy me and my thinking system to win more games yourself. So we're going to start here with our first game. We are currently 1008 rating. I couldn't get it exactly to 1000. We are playing against e4. I will play the French defense here for our first game. Pawn to e6, pawn to d5. And I don't want to focus too much on openings during this entire run. Towards the end of the run, I will probably be needing to play my own openings a little bit more that I know very well. But I mainly want to focus on teaching chess. So what do I do in the beginning? Of course, we put some pawns in the center. We develop some pieces. Very basic, nothing spectacular. So let's see what our opponent is going to play. All right. So very simple. I would like to castle. My knight is in the way. I'm going to move the knight. Okay. Our bishop is under attack. But we can actually grab this for free. And it's just going to lead to some exchanges. Or not. We are just going to go back. Probably even just back here. And that is honestly what chess is like at the 1000th level and even below. I played some games against some lower rated opponents as well. But they just give away free material. Here it's just a pawn, but oftentimes it is way more than a free pawn. I think even this game you're going to get some free material. So what is the plan? The plan is just to play very solid chess, put some pieces in the center, develop, play normal logical moves. And then at some point, your opponents are going to give away a bunch of material. That is just the way chess goes. Even up to the 2000th level, honestly, they make mistakes. Okay, so we are developing. This bishop is pretty trapped inside of the pawn chain. And I'm actually going to poke and just see if they go for a trade or not. And whatever they do, I plan on trying to release this bishop from the prison it is currently in. All right, they do take, which is fine. We can retake with the knight. But up to now, I think my opponent hasn't really made any huge blunders at least. I want to free this bishop. Probably never going to happen this way. So I'm thinking about some b6, bishop b7 plan. I guess they are trying to avoid me from moving the knight. I'm just going to move the queen. I'm just focused on getting this bishop out. That's the only thing we need to focus on. How can we get our pieces into the game on decent squares? Looks a little bit scary, but I don't think they have anything going on. So we're just going to continue. So yeah, I don't think they have anything. They are trying to set up an attack, but with this structure that we have, they won't be able to do anything. All right, develop the bishop. This pawn is weak. We might be able to win it in the future. So they give away a free piece. That is very interesting. I guess it is because he is trying to start an attack, but giving away, it's a creative sacrifice. I have to say at least that. It's a very creative sacrifice, but it's not how you are supposed to play chess. Now they are just losing. I'm trying to trade queens. In all of these games, you will notice you are just going to be ahead in material if you don't blunder anything. And as soon as you are up in material, it's basically one big trade-off. You just have to try and trade every single piece. I'm also seeing if there are some tactics. I actually calculated a checkmate I could potentially do. But it's not going to happen anymore. I'm just going to take. It's just trading. I have to keep things simple. Yep, that's another trade. And the more we trade, the more clear it will become that we always had an extra piece. And in the endgame, this will be a superior advantage. Also, we have a triple threat here on this pawn. So he actually has to go back with the rook into a defensive formation. And then we can just pick up this pawn as well. So yeah, very simple chess. We just develop pieces. They give away material. It's always the same. And I don't even think there is any counterplay plan for white. I mean, no background checkmate is happening. We have this escape square. We don't have a weakness. This pawn is the only weakness. That cannot be the right move, but okay. I was going to say this pawn is the only weakness, but yeah, white cannot attack it. So this is just going to be a checkmate because it's a double check and the king cannot do anything. And if he goes back with the rook, it's also a checkmate. I think his best plan is probably to sack the rook for the bishop if he doesn't want to be mated. Or he can move the pawn. But it's also going to lead to a checkmate. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it. Or we just got a free rook. That's also possible. I think there should be a checkmate anyway, but let's not make things too complicated. For now, at least, this is fine. I can also check with the bishop, but he's always escaping with the king, and I don't really see any way to make progress. I do think it's funny if we can grab this pawn and give an extra check. So yeah, of course, this is just cleanup. This game was pretty easy. They basically just gave me a random free piece. I don't really know why they did it. And there has to be a checkmate here. Check. Check with the bishop. It's not check with the bishop. All right, but I'm still gonna take this. Maybe I was gonna say this actually not a single chance for my opponent. Well, if they can get the king here and I move the rook, I can actually still fall for some type of checkmate if the rook is not on the f file. So there's always hope. There's always hope, but probably they are gonna lose quickly here. All right, they are trying to checkmate their own king in a creative way, but we have a checkmate here. So check, and if they go here, that's a mate. If they go here, we are actually getting the position I talked about, but I'm not going to let it happen. We are just going to check away the king. Probably I am missing something more easy, like for example this check. I think that would have been an easier option, and that's the checkmate. That's not a checkmate. Wow. For some reason, we are struggling here to deliver the checkmate. This looks better. And now they have to sack the rook. Yep. Still not a checkmate, but we will get there soon. I don't know why it's taking so long. Maybe I missed 4 checkmating patterns already. It's a little bit annoying, but yeah. And the thing that I don't like about 1000 players is even when they are behind 2 full rooks, they keep playing. That never happens at the 2000 plus level. I do understand, of course, at this level, your opponents still make mistakes and you feel like giving up is never the right answer, which is true in a sense, because of course, when you give up, you're never winning anyways. But yeah, I'm going to do a quick game review, but I think we played pretty decent. All right. Well, they say we played like a 1700, but the middle game was 90%. The opening was okay. I think we actually didn't do anything wrong. No, we didn't make a single bad move. No blunders. We didn't miss a checkmate either. Yeah, we didn't even miss a checkmate. So, okay. That was it for our first game. We are now at 1017 rating. And we are playing with the white pieces. I think, all right, the England Gambit. My least favorite opening to play against. I was going to say I am going to play probably a bunch of d4 and this run. I can play e4, of course, but there are some tricks and traps that these players study, and I never play e4, which might cause me to just run into some tricks, which is not the goal of this plan. I don't even, I mean, I haven't really ever studied what to do against the England. I know you can just take it, and usually there's not any problems. There are more tricky lines, which they are not really going for here. So yeah, we're just going to grab the free pawn. And of course, as soon as you start grabbing free material, you have to be extra careful that you don't give away anything for free. So I'm just trying to create a little bit of a solid structure here. Everything defended, knight stopping the queen. Doesn't work, of course. That's just a wasted move. And yeah, I'm just going to develop probably a bishop here. I was going to say this might be a free bishop because we have this check. And they can, of course, protect it with the knight, and we can attack, and the queen is still protecting. So sometimes you can win it. Here, that's not the case. So yeah, just gonna develop pieces and castle. I don't know exactly what to do in this position, but it doesn't matter either. We just play the logical moves. And they are gonna give away material in the end. Yep, we are just gonna castle. They will probably castle, and then I have to find a way to, not sure what their knight is doing over there. Now there might be some free material. I'm thinking, so if we check, and he blocks with the bishop, we will have to play this. Take, check, nope. I don't think there's a way to win it yet. I am gonna play h3 though, just to make it move. I don't like the pressure here. There's no reason to allow it, so. Yeah. If they see this, yeah. That's just a trade. Nothing wrong with the trade. I'm actually gonna give it a check. And I do have to find a way to get these pieces into the game because the c3 square is blocked, the bishop is blocked, b3 is never happening, knight e2 is never happening. So I think a very simple plan will be to push pawn to e4, which again is a very solid move. We are just pushing some pawns in the center and now the bishop can come out. I don't really need to do anything else, just develop the bishop. And then of course I can develop the knight in the future. And still my opponent not playing the worst moves. Probably I think I already missed some better moves, but it's fine. I of course don't know this position at all. I've never had this before. So there are some plans. This is very weakening. This is useless as well, I think. So I was thinking maybe queen here. Looks nice. And if I can, of course, pin this knight, that would also be beneficial. So they are giving away a free pawn, but then we get attacked and they win this pawn. So I'm just gonna pin the knight. And this knight still has to find a way to get into the game. Maybe I'll even use this a3, c4. And this is also possible. So there are some plans for the knight. But again, I don't want to do anything spectacular. Honestly, just put the pawn in the center, develop the pieces, wait, and they will give away free material anytime. That's confusing, but probably he wants to double up the rooks. Very confusing move, but I think it somehow doesn't lose. It's crazy how these players come up with the most creative plans. I'm not even saying this is a bad move. It's just a bit confusing. I don't even know, is he going to double up against the pawn that's protected? That doesn't look right. Or does he want to protect this square? Yeah, very strange move. It doesn't lose. Or he wants to do an actual rook left here. But that seems to me like the first free material. Yep, we attack this, we attack this. So that is the free material. We had to wait a little bit, but they found a creative way to give away free material. So honestly, I know I sometimes say this half jokingly, but if you just study tactics instead of openings and you just play normal moves, this is what your games are going to look like. And I think that's the biggest mistake of most chess players, even higher ratings, but especially 1000 and below. They obsess over watching some YouTube opening videos, but they never really learn how to play chess. And they end up in trouble. This is interesting because we also got a free knight. We do get checked. Then we have to move to the corner. It looks super dangerous, but I think it all works out and it's all fine. Of course, you can go wrong here. You can lose in some variations, but this looks perfectly fine. Yeah. I mean, this is not happening and there's no way for them to attack here. Looks a bit scary, but we are. It looks a bit terrifying, I would say, but it's fine. Plus, in the worst case, I can always sack a rook, sack the rook back, and force the trade of queens. And now I will, of course, do a little bit of a defensive maneuvering if we can. They are giving away a queen for free. I did not expect this move. And now they are gonna run into checkmate. That was more creative than I thought they would. Yeah. I don't know what his plan was with giving away the free queen. That's very confusing. Or it was a mouse slit. That's also possible, but yeah, maybe he wanted to go to the G3 square. It's a bit crazy. We, by the way, have a checkmate in 2. Which he can defend by playing rook to f8 if he sees it, and then we can activate the knight and also win this pawn and throw the knight at this square, then go in for the checkmate. Or if they don't, we can even go here, that's a check, then we can sacrifice the queen, they have to take it with the rook, and then we'll have a smothered mate with the knight on f7. Alright, we got an abandoned win, so they just left the game. I'm gonna do a quick review just to show you the tactic that I was talking about. I don't think we made any mistakes. All right, so for the review, we played 87.5, 1 in accuracy. So I did better than I thought I did. I thought I had missed some opportunities. Yeah, and then here, of course, we were winning. And then he gave a free queen. The variation I wanted to show was, let's say they do see the mate and they try to defend like this. We play knight here. They have to move the bishop. They have multiple options, but let's just, of course, that would actually be free piece. Yeah, it's actually not even, let's say they go here just because they have to do something. Then I take this, then they have to play a move. I was thinking maybe something like this. And now there is always a checkmate. For example, if we take, again, what are they going to do? If they capture it, that's going to be a very simple checkmate. And if they play any other move, for example, this, we have check, check, and checkmate. Craziest thing with this entire speedrun is I've actually seen so many things happening that I haven't seen literally in over 10 years. Crazy plans by my opponents, which is good, of course. I can also learn some new strategies, some more creative ideas. For example, this one. Never in my life have I had to play against this, but I guess it's what we get at this rating level. Of course, no theory at all against this. It is a little bit annoying though. I don't know. That's a special Indian game pawn push variation. I didn't know it existed. Yeah, and it's also the I trade all my pieces variation. They have to watch out for this. Will they see it? They were actually thinking of giving me a check and winning this pawn. But I think they forgot about their own pawn, and now this is protected and the rook is falling, and this check, and if I could get my bishop in, I don't know, there might even be a checkmate. Interesting. The calculation is also very interesting. They play something very strange, they calculate a very deep move, but they oftentimes forget about something more simple. But of course, everybody was once 1000. So let's see. So we do get a free rook, but I have to watch out. If I take a free rook, I do get checked. I can block with the knight. If he takes my pawn, I can actually attack his queen and I get my rook in. Okay, that seems fine. Yeah, so he can do his plan, but I'm not gonna drop my rook. I am gonna activate this, and I think we will have a checkmate soon in this game. The question is, how do we deliver the checkmate? I don't see, honestly. I don't see how. I think it's more fun to take with the rook. But this is going to be a hectic game. I haven't had games like this in a long time. Almost everything we can try doesn't work somehow. I'm going to see. Usually, if you don't know what to do, giving a bunch of checks can be the right solution. Now we're already putting the king inside a kill box. Basically, it's stuck. We are delivering checks, and this should be a very easy checkmate into. That's a check, and doesn't matter where he goes. Yep. That's the checkmate. All right. I don't know. No mistakes this game. 9 rating points, 14 moves. I'm gonna play another game. We are black again. All right. Let's see. The king pawn. Yeah, I'm gonna play another French. I do recommend the French opening actually for beginners. So even though it's not an opening lesson, I do like the French defense. I don't play it myself anymore, but I think it's a very good opening for black. Because oftentimes if you play e4, e5, you are just running into your opening preparation. Because of course they have watched opening videos, they do know some traps. But if you play the French, they will be confused and they won't know what to do. I don't know what this queen is doing here. Moving your queen out early is never the right solution. This check is also never the right solution. You are just helping them create a solid pawn structure and you are losing a move. This might also trap your bishop in some line, but I'm not gonna even chase it. I'm gonna develop one more piece for free. Thank the queen. And he might give me a check, actually. Yeah, that was quite predictable. Now we are probably gonna trade queens. And I do think he will push f3. Which is another good move, but I do think it's why he's gonna play. Ah, he doesn't play it. Okay. So again, I'm really not following any theory, of course. We are just playing simple moves. We are developing pieces, putting pawns in the center, and waiting until they give away some free material, which they haven't done yet in this game. What I'm gonna do, of course, is focusing on developing this knight. I might also try to set up a simple trap to win the bishop. Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can do it. I'm just gonna see if I can set up a simple trap to win the bishop. It's a little bit cheesy. I don't usually play this. This is what I call hope chess, but it works. Now the bishop is trapped. Because I always say we want to play solid moves and then they give us free material. But sometimes, of course, you also have to make it happen. You have to fight for your free pieces. And this is the setup I was thinking about. Now we got a free piece. Yeah. And of course, we get a free piece, so that means we will have to trade everything. I think that was not the best capture even on his part. I think I think the other ones were a little bit more annoying. I don't know. This is not a problem. Now we also got yeah, he can do this, but I guess he is just losing another move. That's the second free piece. Yeah. I also feel like they play super quickly. They are playing rapid games, but they are playing so fast. I mean, of course, I'm also playing fast, but it's because these games are quite easy for me. For them, I would recommend to play way slower if you're playing rapid. Will he take this on the next move? I am not sure anymore at this point. We are just gonna develop. That looks very easy. He might play c3. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a free pawn. This is also nice. He might take it with his bishop now. That might be his plan. But it never really works because he's trading pieces. I do have to watch out for this pawn fork at the end. I can't analyze here. I'm used to playing against bots, but if I play this, he can do this push. I do get knight in here, but we are not even gonna go that far. We're just gonna attack the rook. And yeah, backwards. Well, or forwards, or even this. The problem with this is he can take, I take with my knight. My pieces are a little bit loose. If I take with the bishop, I can connect my knights. And if you get two knights connected like that, they are super strong. Even a queen struggles against it. He doesn't take. Now my pieces are just hanging all over the place. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. It's not the best trade. We are losing a pawn. So I'm getting a little bit sloppy, but it's still fine. Okay. Now I can play my rook here. I wanted to do that first, but his bishop was preventing me from doing that. It's sometimes dangerous to protect pieces like this, but since I have the extra rook as a backup, it's fine. Otherwise, you can get in trouble. And now I think we have a good position. This is annoying for him as well. Yep. And that's a fork. I don't know if you'll see it. And it's also not so easy to defend against it. This loses a piece, this loses a piece. Yeah, sure. It's one of the more confusing positions I have had in a long time. I don't even know what to play here. It's so confusing. I mean, I'm not in trouble, but all the pieces are hanging everywhere. But this is another trade, and I am looking for trades. My knight is protecting my bishop. My rook is protecting my knight. His bishop has to move, and we can trade it. And trading is going to make everything easier. But maybe it's also time to just move our bishop. Even though I drop a pawn, I don't really care. Because I want to simplify. We don't want to give away anything. I do think we are gonna have some, maybe another rook trade. I was gonna say maybe some type of checkmate, but here we just got another rook trade. This is an interesting move for him. Yep, he finds it. That's nice. I'm actually gonna play something funny as well. I'm gonna take this one, and then I can just go in again and basically force another rook trade. And I don't think he can do anything about it. And that's the goal. As soon as we are up material, always remember this rule. Trade everything. Trade everything, and the endgame will be super easy. Yep, that's it. I don't know. I think it's saying we didn't make any mistakes. I am not 100% sure, but I am happy. 9 extra rating. We are almost at 1050. Things are going great. I thought I was only going to be able to play like 3 games a video, but at this rate, we will get a bunch of games then. I don't know. Maybe they just pre-move e5. Yeah, I think maybe they just pre-move d5. I don't know. I honestly don't think they have prepared any England gambits. I think they just pre-move it. It's very confusing, and I still don't really know how to. I think if you just watch a How to Beat the England Gambit video from whoever on YouTube, you are gonna get the easy time at this rating level. But our last plan works fine. I'm just gonna play the same. I don't even remember Okay, we have to play the knight here. I don't even remember the plan we had last time. Something with queen b3. Oof, but he's going for the queen side castling, which is super interesting. We haven't gotten this yet. I'm actually gonna do this first. Trade some pieces. Queenside castling, which will make the game very spicy. It's going to be a pawn storm on both sides. It was the wrong move in his position because he's already missing this f-pawn, so he won't really have an easy time doing a pawn storm. Right now, I'm just trying to see if we can simplify a little bit. I was thinking he was going to play this move. But I was thinking about this move for him. Because of course he gets the knight. If I take the queen, he also gets queen. And if I take this, my pawn structure is ruined, but I honestly don't really care that much here. I knew this was going to happen, but yeah, it's fine anyways. His queen is still under attack. And I basically wanted his queen to move because I want to demonstrate a queen-side pawn storm. So that is the plan. Could we have done something else? Yeah, sure. I think we could have just played the bishop back or castled. I think both of those were fine. Now I can actually play the pawn storm. I was thinking, no, it's not gonna work. He can take and then the rook's dropping. So it's more annoying than I thought. I'm gonna play a4 anyways. It's a little bit of preparation for the pawn storm. But of course, always be very careful. Don't play as quickly as I am during my games. Don't do this at home, I would say. Don't try this at home. Let's just take this. And I still want to push this, but we cannot push it. I'm actually already going to push this one, grabbing a bit more space. That is the entire goal here. We want to keep pushing. And now I want to play this. But I have to protect that one first. I'm actually going to keep my king in the center. This is my shelter for the king. I'm not going to castle. This is my shelter. I am fine. So we're going to attack. Okay. And now I'm thinking, do we attack or do we push this pawn first? I think it's both possible. If we attack, we might get a trade. If we push, yeah, I think this works. Probably they both work, but this looks fine. And this is all protected somehow. And then the plan was pushing here, and if he pushes, he gives us a free knight. And here you see he is lacking some pawn storm. What I also like to do is on opposite side castling games, just don't castle for a long time. Because as long as you don't castle, their entire plan basically doesn't work. I don't know how to feel about this move. I mean, he is just giving us a free knight. So it is confusing. And our rook will be able to enter. I think I might even have a super simplistic queen slide checkmate. I'm not 100% sure. I'm actually gonna take this first. It's just 3. We do have to watch out for our own king, but I still think we have some kind of fortress going on. And now I'm at least eliminating this annoying bishop. If he moves it, he's basically running into checkmate. So I think this will be a quick one as well. Not sure if I played everything correctly. We might need to do a quick analysis on this one. This is not how I usually play chess. I usually also don't ever play opposite side castling positions anymore. Not that I try to avoid them at all costs, but I just don't really play openings that run into them. So I think it's just fine. We are, of course, dropping this pawn, but it's not with a check, and we have a checkmate at 1. And the most beautiful part is I can actually side my queen and do an upright checkmate as well. So this is going to be checkmate on every line. That's a checkmate if he doesn't do anything. And even if he moves his rook, we sack, and then we have the upright checkmate pattern. If you don't know all of the checkmate patterns, you should check out my website, pegasuschess.com, where I have a free attack course. And I think the first 3 chapters in that course are just more than 30 checkmating patterns. It's very easy to know all of them, not by name, but just know all of the patterns so that you can immediately recognize them in your game. Otherwise, you have to calculate so much more. But if you know the patterns, it's easy. Basically, he is losing in every line. The only real comeback he has is maybe something with a sacrifice, but I already made sure the bishop is not here. We have double protection. And I can even in any case start training. So he is calculating, but it's not gonna work out. Yeah, and that's, like I said, we can take this. It's a forced move. And then it's checkmate. Yep, that's the opera mate. All right. 2 blunders. I don't know if they are my blunders. I will have to do a game review. All right. Were they my blunders? No, I didn't blunder. It's his blunders. But we didn't play the best game, so I'm gonna have to analyze quickly. So yeah, this is fine. I think I just played too passively. That's the biggest problem. Oh yeah, wow. I didn't even recognize it at this point, but this is just a free bishop. But I play a bit too fast maybe sometimes. And this is again a free bishop. So that is why we had this very bad opening score basically, because I didn't take the free bishop 2 times in a row. And then other than that, everything is fine. And then here we played an excellent pattern, basically a6, take, and then this, because of course you have this checkmate. So yeah, I did not take a free piece twice. That means we have to slow down our games a little bit. And we are also now at 1050 rating. I'm gonna try to play a little bit more slowly this time, because I'm playing a bit too quick, and we basically didn't see a free piece. What am I gonna play? I think I'm gonna play a color system. I can also play some Queen's Gambit or Catalan type structures, but I like to keep things as boring and as simple as they can be for the opening. Yep. Knight to here. Yep, and we can play e4 at some point. Probably even straight away. But I do like to play rook e1 first. and then push. And if he doesn't see it, that's basically a fork and we win a piece. If he trades, we just take with the knight. So I don't know if he will see it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they play something like knight here and just allow the fork. Yeah. They do see it. Wow, but they played in a different move order. I was like 100% sure they were gonna take with the pawn first. I actually don't know 100% certain if I have to take with my rook or with my bishop. But bishop seems the most natural. But I think I had games where I take with a rook as well, and I slide the rook over and I basically try to do some checkmate. Yeah, I think that might be the case. What I'm also looking for here is some Greek gift sacrifice, which is very common. You sack the bishop, you go in with the knight, you go in with the queen, and that's a checkmate. The only thing I'm not sure of is if he goes in here. I think probably it works anyways. We sacrifice, we play this, he goes here. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go then, oops, my arrow is wrong, to g4 with the queen. Yeah, I'm not sure it works because he can go in with the knight. And then I don't have anything except that I'm down a piece. So I'm not going to play a reckless attack if I am not 100% sure. So what are we going to do? We have to keep developing pieces. Mainly this bishop has to be developed. I was thinking of putting it here, but he has f6, which weakens his structure. Yes, it's a difficult position. I'm not 100% sure what I have to play here. This is a move, but it's just boring. Yeah, and this looks so nice, but I don't think it works. Yeah, even if he goes back, I mean, we go in with the queen, but we don't have the checkmate. I am gonna try this move. We'll see what he plays. Probably not the best move, but I didn't really have a good plan. I'm gonna play here. I just wanted him to make some weaknesses on the king side and to prevent the knight from jumping in. So I guess we were able to make it happen. Queen d3, also interesting in some lights. But yeah, I don't think he has made a mistake yet. Maybe we did have a Greek gift. I would check with the engine, but I don't think we did. All right. I think that's a mistake. Most likely that's a mistake. We'll see how it goes. I am gonna try this. It's just a simple trick. If he doesn't take, I take, he takes, I play bishop here and I win the queen. If he takes, we just got a little bit of a strange pawn structure, but this is actually perfectly fine. Now he is most likely going to attack our queen, which is what I expect. Yeah, but this player, he is playing better, or maybe I am playing worse, but he is not really making any huge mistakes. Some strange moves, but I haven't really been able to punish any of them. Yeah. This is a very strange. It reminds me of the pawn cube, where you have 4 pawns in the cube, but like one of the pawns is a little bit too tall and he's a bishop. But this reminds me of the pawn cube structure. If you don't know the pawn cube, you should watch my pawn structures video. Yeah, but I think this will be the last game. I'm starting to play sloppy and the video has been going on long enough. Okay, so he's attacking me. I'm gonna play the most funny move, g4. I love this. Now this is, I don't even know what this structure is. Looks like a pawn hexagon. I don't know what to call this. A pawn rectangle, I should say. And this pawn is a traitor. It's actually blocking the queen. And this push never works. Is he gonna try this? I don't know. If only we could put this and then pin the queen, that would be so amazing. But it's not gonna work. So we have to basically get this rook in the game. And I also want to move my queen. What is he gonna do? That's also interesting. What is he gonna do? Probably something with his bishop. So I do think this move makes sense because he cannot move his rook over and he cannot move his bishop over. So he can only play this. And then I think I can go in. And if we trade, I get a rook to the 7th rank, which is a strategic advantage. And if he attacks me, I can basically take with a check. But still, he hasn't really made any huge mistakes. The pawn structure is a bit weird, but it's fine. So I am not 100% sure what's going on here. One thing I don't like about this queen trade is I'm basically simplifying the position, and the more simplified the position, the less chance he's going to make a mistake. But he is playing better than all of the previous players. Yep, so we will have to take this. I don't want to trade everything. But there's also no point in not trading this. We might have to outgrind them in the endgame, which is also interesting. So this endgame is actually completely equal. He is putting up a very good game, or maybe I already missed 3 chances. I will have to do a quick engine review. But I think he is playing a decent game. So it's a bishop endgame, and both bishops are the same color. All right. We do have a little bit of a better pawn structure, but I don't even know if I like to call it a better pawn structure. I was going to say this is one weakness we can attack, but he has an easy time defending it. And now, for some reason, he is finally collapsing, giving away a free pawn. He played so well. I mean, yes. Oh, yeah, he can actually take... I was going to say, yeah, he can take here, but then I take this. But that was not true because my rook would be under attack. So very interesting. This move looks nice as well. It's like a fork. He can probably just move the rook. Yeah, I'm gonna play... well, I'm not sure. I was gonna say I'm gonna play the safest plan, but then he just grabs this. Yeah. And if I take this, he grabs this. I'm gonna play the safest structure, but he can actually win back the pawn if he wants to. Yeah, and I'm gonna play this, solidify him. So we are equal again. Maybe I made a mistake, but he is playing a decent game. But I do think now with this pawn structure, the endgame will always be better for me. It's just how can we convert this into a win? I am gonna try, I think, to keep both of these pieces on the board, because if I trade them, it's gonna be easier for him to go for a draw. Okay, okay. My plan was this, but he just has that move. Okay. I am just gonna move this over. Let's see what he does about that. I don't think I'm gonna take, otherwise my structure collapses, but sometimes it's just about poking, if you know what I mean, just trying something. Just try and see what they respond with, because you never know, maybe their response is a free piece. Okay, that doesn't look great. That doesn't look great for him, because now I can attack this. But he can defend it. If I attack him, he can move up. Okay. I am just gonna Hmm. I'm gonna play this. I almost didn't see it, but this is a very easy move. Yeah. And then we get a free pawn. And now with a free pawn, we should try to push this into a winning endgame. Okay. I'm gonna pin the bishop. I don't see anything immediate yet, but I'm just trying to slightly improve. Maybe win another free pawn if we can. Now I would not mind trading. I'm just gonna move again. Just gonna move. Maybe pin it this way. I'm just trying to grab a free pawn. But he is playing a very strong game for a 1000. Or I am messing up, but I don't think I've made any mistakes. Unless if the Greek gift works, but... Okay. Alright, that's a no pin. And we can go here. But he can always defend it, so... Okay, he's already defending it. But now he made the mistake that his bishop is pinned and attacked twice. And if we can trade everything, which we can, we'll have a pawn-up king endgame. So we just have to raise the kings to the center. Let's see. The problem is we have frozen pawns. I didn't think about this earlier. And he might have like a decoy tactic. I want him to have the move. I don't know, I might be making a mistake in this endgame, but yeah. If we take, it's just gonna be an easy endgame. If he takes with the king, we can just move. If he moves, we move. But if I freeze it, I think it's more fun. Then I go here. This pawn is guarding that square. And now it all depends on his move. He can try to push, or we grab it. Yeah, he's gonna go back, we go forward. It's a bit of maneuvering, but we will make it. I'm gonna check with the engine. I might have made a mistake by playing a bit too sloppy earlier. Yeah. He is trying to trick me into a losing endgame. And he knows about triangulation. And that was a mistake. He should have gone in with the king, because now he loses everything. I think I might have even misplayed the endgame, but he played so well and now he's crumbling. Yeah, this is an easy endgame now. I think if he had gone in with the king instead, it would have been more complex. Yeah. And the question, how do you win this? You don't care about this pawn. You just go grab all the others. And then you can make a couple of queens. And now we have to find the quickest checkmate. That would be a stalemate. Let's play this. And now it's a checkmate. All right, but I do have to check the endgame. I think I might have messed up the endgame. Let me see with the game review. All right, so we didn't mess up anything. It's just a perfect game, but we had one miss. What did we miss? This move, apparently. It's slightly better because we are not trading it to an equal endgame. Other than this, I think I played a very decent game. Some inaccuracies, or Greed Gift would have never worked, I think. Yeah, and taking with the rook is actually better. I do remember that from studying the opening a little bit. This didn't work as I thought because of this, and eventually he gets in with a knight. If he goes here, we would have had queen check, and then it's more complex. Yeah. But other than that, I don't think we made any mistakes. Yeah, this was also a mistake in the endgame. All right, it didn't mark it as a blunder. I think it is a blunder. This was a mistake in the endgame. I should have just done something else. Maybe just left it alone and gone to this side of the. I was focused too much here, and I think at some point he could have created a passed pawn. By sloppy play on my part. If he does this. But I tried, of course, to make it happen in a way that I wouldn't lose. But here he was finding all of the best defensive maneuvers. And then this was the mistake. I think he should have gone in with the king. Oh, not even. No, of course, yeah, we're also winning this. All right. Very complex. Complex. It should be easy, but I misplayed the endgame a little bit. All right, that's it. We are 1062. If you want to see my other games, make sure to follow the series. As always, I'll see you in another one. Bye.